What's up, fellas?
Hello. Oh, there it is. I missed that.
Gentlemen,
I missed that.
Howdy.
what's up, guys?
How are
Welcome.
you?
Welcome
Good.
back
How are
to
you?
another episode of TSP. Got a lot to talk about here before we get to Mr. Angelo. First of all, I want to start with thanking our supporters. If you're a Patreon member, we appreciate you. If you're not, jump down on the description down there and help us out. Click on it. Send us $5, $10, $25, whatever you got a month. We appreciate it. So what we do with that money is we turn it into a nonprofit, and we send veterans and first responders to sporting events. I just got back from Detroit, Michigan on Monday. I entertained myself, Army veteran, Navy veteran, and a Chicago retired police officer. We went up for the Detroit Lions Chicago Bears game. The game ended in a last-minute victory for the Detroit Lions. The Bears were kicking the shit out of the Lions the entire game. They controlled the ball 40 minutes. The Lions gave up 4 turnovers. So it's the very first time in NFL history that a team had controlled the ball for 40 minutes out of the 60 minutes, and the other team had 4 turnovers, and the team still lost. The Detroit Lions beat them. So last minute heroics. It was awesome. But that's what we do with the money. It's our little way of trying to combat veteran suicide. We appreciate all you guys' help. With that, there's also I wrote a cookbook. All the information's in the
Where is it?
description.
Where's your cookbook, man?
I don't have
it
it with me.
Damn. I should have brought it.
I know.
have it. It's a great cookbook. And Angelo, you might be in it.
There's
He's going to write another one.
I have a stack of them over there somewhere, but the one I usually use for props, it's downstairs. But anyways, that's what we do. We sit here and we get the life stories of America's veterans, and we document it, and we turn it into money, and we take that money and we turn it into sporting events. Our little way of giving back.
Fuck yeah.
That's what we do. So the whole concept is, when I started this podcast, it wasn't my intent to profit off it, and a little bit of money started coming in, and I was like, whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't want to profit off of these guys' war stories. So I created a nonprofit, and I just take that money and give it right back. So we appreciate all your help.
Yeah.
And so tomorrow is Thanksgiving, even though when you guys are watching this, it'll be a week after Thanksgiving.
Dude, you said it. Now I have to go through my spiel. Okay.
Yep. Sorry. But
I thought
anyway,
we were gonna be like, okay, this is like after Thanksgiving, but it's okay. Yeah. Let's roll with it.
Anyways, hey, happy after Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you all had a great week.
Hope you ate a lot of turkey.
There you go. Cheers.
Did you pop a top?
Cheers.
Nice. Cheers.
So, Andrew, do you have anything to say before I get into our sponsor, Mr. Charlie over at Symmetry?
Well, since this is after Thanksgiving, and after our Christmas party on December 2nd and our hot chocolate social with the 118th Air Wing, I want to thank everyone for showing up for that. Get ready for next year, because Dan Clore from Weapon X he's coming, and we are going to be doing a concert together here in either Murfreesboro or Nashville. We haven't really picked it out. It's probably going to be September, and it's going to be freaking awesome.
Next September?
So, next September.
I've been kind of following Mr. Clore, and he is very talented.
Dude, he's a badass. And Angelo, I'll send you some of his music.
Yeah,
he's awesome. He's a Marine. He's a Marine like us, except for Fleek, because he's Navy. But lead vocals, bassist. He's awesome.
And he's got a crazy story about how he joined the Marines.
Yeah, we had a podcast a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, month and a half ago, 6 weeks ago.
There's too many veterans to really remember all the people that we talked to.
Well, Mr.
And we love
Angelo
them
here is number 93. So
93, baby. That's the lucky number. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yes. So our sponsor is Charlie over at Single Tree, and he has a few words for us. A few words of encouragement.
What is going on, guys? It's your man Charlie right here from Single Tree Barbecue. Did you know we are on a mission to build community through undeniable hospitality and the perfect plate of barbecue? Y'all come check us out, 2805 Old Fort Parkway, right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 8, Sundays from 11 to 4. Give us a call at 615-307-0120. You can check us out on all the social platforms at Single Tree BBQ. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you. Appreciate all the support.
Andy has great chicken wings.
Oh my God, amazing!
They're so good.
Amazing.
So he smokes his chicken wings, but they're not soggy and rubbery. They're crispy. They're great. But if you're ever in the middle of Tennessee area, make sure you go over there and check out Mr. Charlie. He's awesome. And he's a veteran.
Angelo, when you come up here, we're going to Single Tree on me.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
It's pretty good. So
And that's it. That's all I got. But
that's all we all got, man. I guess it's the Angelo show now.
Hey, can I introduce him? Would that be okay?
It's all you, buddy. Let's do it.
Okay, guys. I've known this guy for a long time. He's an amazing fella. He gets the job done. He is probably he's a motivator. And do you think I motivate people? This guy motivates the shit out of anybody.
And he has sexy hair.
And he does. He looks like Jason Mimosa.
Mimosa.
Or the hedgehog. He's a cross between
hedgehog. Hey, I'll take it.
Ooh, hedgehog.
Not the pedophilia part. That part I don't really need to be associated with.
I don't know, man. Donnie O'Malley might be, second best now because this guy Angelo's looking pretty good tonight. Sorry, Donnie.
If Jason Mimosa and the hedgehog had a baby, it would be Angelo.
It would be. Hopefully my acting career is just as good.
So without further ado, Angelo, who are you, sir?
Guys, thank you so much. First and foremost, thank you for having me, but also thank you for what you do for our veteran community. I think that's super awesome that you guys take what you guys receive and put it right back into our community to continue to prevent veteran suicide. So thank you so much for what you do. Thank you.
It's our pleasure.
We applaud you because that's always needed. We need that. Second, of course, my name is Angelo Martinez, not to be confused with Ron Jeremy Jr. or Jason Mimosa, Jason Momoa's stepson. I served 8 years in the Marine Corps. Originally from New Jersey, and I currently reside here in South Florida.
Excellent.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school in Coconut Creek, Florida.
Coconut Creek?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty down there. I like that.
You know what? It was. I'm originally from New Jersey.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if you ever experienced a winter.
Oh my God. Whew. You know what's funny? The worst winter I've ever experienced was in New Jersey. We lived on a hill, and we lived right on top of a pizza place. And there was a week where it snowed something obnoxious, and there was so much snow that it covered the entire first floor. So it looked like we lived on the first floor, living on the second floor. Like we could jump out the window and land in snow, which was basically snow and garbage because that's all New Jersey was at that time, is just trash everywhere. So, but yeah, I'm originally from Jersey, moved down to Florida. I went until I was like 15. My mom remarried, met my stepdad, sent me down here, and joined the Marine Corps fresh out of high school.
Yep.
Well, that's unfortunate.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because
it's hard.
he's an 03 like me.
I could have joined the Navy, and I could have gotten married to another man and just.
Oh,
I knew that was coming. I knew
I
it.
know. Ooh.
Which there's
God
not
damn.
a problem. There's no problem with that. You know, I chose the Marine Corps infantry. It's not a big
Yes.
deal.
Oh boy.
So you went to, Paris Island, San Diego.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I went to Paris Island, where the real Marines are made.
That's right.
And then, I graduated September 19th. Funny enough, I went to boot camp June 21st, 2003. Graduated September 19th, 2003. My nephew just recently graduated in September. He went June 21st.
I went June 21st,
2003?
2004, a year after you. Because I'm a boot, dude. I'm a boot. It's okay.
You're a pretty boot. You're a pretty
I'm a
boot.
pretty boot. That's right. Trevor, eat that. I'm a pretty boot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to actually, 20 years later, go back to Paris Island and see my nephew walk those same yellow footprints. And
wow.
I've created sort of like a cult following in my family, because now my cousin Angie joined, and she's a staff sergeant in the Marine Corps now. And then her brother joined, and he's somewhere in Okinawa. And now my nephew joined. So now we're a fire team strong in my family, and we're keeping them coming. My cousin Julissa, she joined the army. Whatever. Yeah. You couldn't believe that she would do something like that, but
yeah.
The weak ones always fall through the cracks. It's okay.
Ouch. You hear that, Army? He just called you guys out.
Yep.
Eat it.
So, yeah, Paris Island. I graduated September 19, 2003. Went to SOY. And obviously Marine Corps Infantry. I joined.
You are an 03.
0311.
And what is that for people that actually don't speak Marine? What is that?
It's an infantryman. It's an infantryman. That's right. It is the backbone of the Marine Corps. It is the tip of the spear.
Tip of the spear.
It is the.
That's where they put people that failed all the tests.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Well,
we were made to lead, not read. All right.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Smart, but I'm strong.
Hold on, Angelo. Do you remember your ASVAB score? Because I remember mine. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell everybody what I got. What'd you get?
I think I had like a 33 or 34.
Okay, 54.
Low.
Oh yeah.
Low. I was also
33 is good enough for infantry, man.
You're damn right.
Apparently.
I always laugh too, because I see my friends that are like, "Yeah, I had a high ASVAB score," and I'm like, "All right."
Yeah, well, they get you.
Look where you're at now. You've got 7 kids with 7 women. You weren't obviously that smart.
JJ Lance, we are not talking about you. Oops. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Lance.
He's a
member of our VFW, but he
a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Is he the Nick Cannon of the VFW or what?
Huh?
Is he the Nick Cannon of VFW?
He is the Nick Cannon of our VFW. Yes, he is. Sorry, JJ, I had to. I'm sorry, bud. He's in South Carolina. I love you, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh man, yeah. So
tight.
SOY. After SOY, I went to 1st Battalion, 8th Marines.
Yup.
Alpha Company, 2nd Platoon, and the rest is history.
That is tip of the spear. Alpha Company. I mean, come on.
Yeah, dude, it was terrifying to be a boot at that time frame.
Oh, I can't even imagine your seniors, man.
I checked in December of 2003. Everyone was on holiday leave. So it was me, my buddy Drew, our buddy Joel, and a few other guys from other platoons. And it was just basically like a haze fest from mid-December until we got I think we had like a 120.
A 120. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever had a 120 ever.
Yeah.
96s. Yeah. 120. No.
I was like, what?
Angelo, I went June 21st. I graduated September 17th, went to SOI, graduated December 17th, and then I was at 3-8, like a year after you. Holy shit, that's fucking cool as shit.
You know, what's funny is I have a lot of friends that were in 3-8. My buddy Caesar Hernandez, he was a sniper for 3-8.
I remember Caesar. Yep.
Yeah, tall, lanky. Not, I always say lanky. When we went to boot camp, he was lanky, but he was tall. I think by the time you probably met him, he was fit as fuck. But,
he was fit. Yeah, he was fit.
He was a beast. You guys went to Ramadi. You guys fucking did some damage. You guys all came back fucking hard as fuck. So that was.
Then I became the training NCO and the police sergeant after that one because I got injured, and they're like, "You're gonna sit on a desk for a year." I'm like, "Okay." So I had to write schedules my last year in the fucking Corps.
Oof.
Yeah, I had everyone's social security number and address on a flash drive. It's in Savannah somewhere in a storage unit. No, I have it. I have everybody's social. That's right.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Time to bust out them credit cards, all right? It's holiday season.
Kidding. I would never do that to any, well, except for maybe a couple.
Anymore.
Yes.
Anymore.
So when did you, so you graduated December. So you were in Fallujah, in January?
No, so we got back. So I check in December. We go on holiday leave. Everyone comes back January. And then I meet all my other senior Marines.
Jesus.
And just what a nightmare it was. But, one of the things that I learned was that, they hazed us, sure, but there was a purpose behind it. And they weren't just like beating us up, or like they were teaching us how to be strong, how to be independent, how to fight back and defend ourselves. They were teaching us how to be tactically efficient. They were teaching us how to be on this, like Johnny on the spot, know our stuff.
Lots of bull in the ring, huh?
Lots. So my roommate at the time was Lance Corporal Crossan and Lance Corporal Longnecker. And Longnecker was really laid back. He was like, just do what you're supposed to do, and I won't have to fucking beat you. And I was like, yes, Lance Corporal. Crossan was into MMA and all this. And that's when like the UFC and all that was first coming out. So before I went to bed, I had to grapple Crossan every night. I had to earn my right to go to sleep.
What?
Damn.
Yeah. And let me tell you, I only won once. From January all the way to June. I only won once. But it helped me get really good at grappling, and it helped me get really good at submitting people, because I couldn't submit him, but I was able to submit and choke out other guys bigger than me all the time after that. He was just a fucking beast. Him and this other guy, Diaz.
Sergeant Diaz?
No.
Okay.
Last Corporal Diaz.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just checking, because I had a sergeant. I had a Diaz too.
No, he was different. He's very different. He was a thin guy. We called him like the snake or something like that. So crazy. I love him to death. Awesome guy. Not snake in a bad way, but like snake in like a covert striking way. Yeah. So
I got you.
So that was the kind of hazing I would receive. I would have to like slap. Like I grew up boxing. I didn't tell anybody because I don't like to brag, but I knew that people were getting slapped and punched and stuff like that. So when the time came for me to get slapped, they wanted me to slap box or box somebody. I did, and they discovered that was something that they could not compete with me in, because I'm good. I'm a good boxer, and that was the last time they actually tried to slap me. They can grapple me, but when we stand up, they cannot. It won't work out.
Dude, I've known you a while. I had no idea you were a boxer. No idea.
Yeah.
This is a first. Nice.
Yeah. It was good. I love boxing. I broke my nose in one of the boxing tournaments. Very unorganized, but I learned how to defend myself rather early. I grew up in the hood in New Jersey, so I used to get beat up all the time.
Where in Jersey?
Newark.
Oh, Wait. You're from Newark?
Yeah, from North Newark.
Oh
Which is funny because after Iraq, my buddy Kenley lives in New York, somewhere in the Bronx. And on their way back down to Camp Lejeune, they stopped by to pick me up. And he stopped in front of my family's house where I was staying. And he turned to my friend Drew, and they told me this the last time I saw him. He turned to my friend Drew and goes, "Hey, man, don't go outside. Lock the doors. Call Martinez, but don't go outside." Because we lived in the hood. We lived in like the legit hood where your car will get stolen several times a week. If it gets returned, it's getting stolen again. People are breaking into houses. Like, so it was funny to hear and see someone that's probably grew up in a similar fashion to me experience that coming to pick me up in what I used to call home.
Wow.
Yeah. Humble beginnings. Humble,
yeah. And then
Hey, Newark, if you're listening, stop stealing shit, man. It's not cool. It's not cool.
You know, my first wife.
Hey, North, if you're listening, get better leadership. How about
that? Dude, my first wife was from Bernardsville, about 30 minutes south of where you grew up, by the way.
That's way better than Newark. Way better.
Yeah, she was a wasp and kind of a yuppie. And sorry, Sybil. She's not gonna watch this. I don't think she watches this.
This is the one time she watches it. She's like, "You son of a bitch."
Well, she's remarried. She lives in California, in Californistan, and I'm happy for her. She's got a family. You know, that's good.
But going back to being hazed, like, there was a purpose behind it. It wasn't just like shoving broomsticks up my ass or something. It was legitimate, discipline. If I fucked up, there is a reason why you're going to get fucked up,
Discipline is.
Yeah. So I grew up in that time frame. And then, so that's January to June. And then we deployed June 21st, 2004.
When I joined, when I set foot on Parris Island.
Yeah. We already established you're a boot.
No, listen, no, it's funny. I was in 2nd Battalion, and fucking this guy, he's already going to get some. And I'm not going to get some until January of 2005. It's crazy.
And, what's funny, my recruiter told me from the time that you leave to go to boot camp, a year from that date, you'll be in Iraq. And I went to boot camp June 21st, 2003. And I went to Iraq June 21st, 2004.
Yeah, right on.
I was like, wow, what are you, a fucking magician? Who the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you a warlock? How do you know that? But that happened. And he was a fucking amazing recruiter.
I just want to point out that Andrew was up there counting on his fingers.
Yeah, he was.
No, I was counting the months where I started, and I was in Iraq, and it was 8 months from stepping on the yellow footprints to January 5th, 2005. Because I think 3-8. I think we did like a left seat, right seat with 1-8, right?
No.
You didn't do that?
No, we went to Iraq June 2004. We left February 2005. I don't remember the unit that we did left seat, right seat with, but it wasn't 3-8.
What is left seat, right seat?
It's
left seat, right seat. Yeah, basically it's just, the oncoming unit kind of shadows us and joins us like on patrol and stuff like that, so they can get a feel for the atmosphere of what's going on. So then when we leave, we didn't leave them empty-handed. We left them.
We don't. Yeah, when we get there, they don't. We don't. We know what to expect, sort of.
Yeah.
So is it like a handoff? Yeah, it's like a handoff.
Yeah, it's a handoff.
It's a warm, or it could be a hot handoff.
Or a hot, yeah.
Went to Iraq in June 2004, and we got to Al Assad, and for the most part, it was pretty quiet. patrolling around Haditha, Baghdadi, Rawa.
Yep.
Nothing too major. I want to say around July. I want to say end of June, beginning of July. We went to Fallujah the first time, and the atmosphere there was tense, like very tense. I want to say that we were leaving 1-5 at that time frame, so we were just filling in the gap. But no one at that time was allowed in the city. No one was allowed. There was all sorts of wild shit going on while we were there. We hadn't experienced anything combat wise up to that point, really. At least Alpha Company hadn't really. Not that I can remember, but I think there was like an IED at one point in one of the small cities, but outside of that, like we hadn't really experienced like anything major. So our first real contact was an IED that killed Corporal Godwin from snipers, and then like the atmosphere changed for us. Then slowly it was like, okay, things are getting a little more serious. Where we were getting mortar attacks. I think it was like our first it might have been our first or second day there. And we're like, oh, this isn't bad. This is like Al-Assad. We're in Camp Fallujah. This is cool. And then all of a sudden we hear this fucking boom right outside our fucking tent. And we're like, oh my God, this is fucking real. Like you run right to the bunker. The little cement bunkers. And it's funny, it's like one of my favorite moments in Iraq because it's like the last like real time I saw my friend Desiato smile. We like laughed together before he died in the battle. But it always brings me back to that because of how like eye-opening it was, but how we all kind of kept the humor alive, that dark humor that we thrive on, really.
Right.
So Fallujah the first time was interesting. We got hit with the IED, killed Corporal Godwin, unfortunately, but it was like we were always just like a hair away from something wild happening. We would patrol the outskirts of the city at Cloverleaf, and it was just like there's always like the tension. There's always tension. We found a bomb maker. This guy was so sweet to us, so kind. This is the wildest thing. Obviously, we're young. I'm a young Lance Corporal. I wasn't even a Lance Corporal at that point. I was a PFC still. And we enter a house based off intel. We get there. We meet this guy. And the guy's really hospitable. Like they're talking. I'm asking him questions, whatever. But he's really kind. He's like, please come in. Just need anything, ice, anything, whatever. And I'm like, wow, these Iraqis really are nice. Why are we even here? And my platoon sergeant, Staff Sergeant Pillsbury, he was a former Army Ranger. And he was like, you guys are fucking dumb. It's like, what? Why, Staff Sergeant? He goes, attention to fucking detail. Look at his fucking hand next time he walks by you. And sure enough, what is he missing? His fucking finger. Why? Because he was a fucking bomb maker.
Wow.
And once we fucking established that, then things got fucking spicy. And then his attitude changed. And then we swept through his entire backyard. We found old fucking mortar rounds and fucking old machine gun, all this stuff. And we're like, that son of a bitch. He almost pulled a fucking fast one on us.
What'd you do with him?
Well, it took a while, but so as soon as he realized he was in the shit, his neighbors like relayed a message, and then they fucking started doing their whole little chant thing on the fucking intercom from the minarets. And they're like,
All the prayer, yeah.
All the fucking prayer. And we're like, a minute where this guy was like, wow, this guy's really nice. And the next second, we're like, well, we found a bomb maker, and now there's a crowd forming in the street. So his son actually pulled up. which is even more interesting. His son pulled up and they start asking him questions. He's like, "Oh, I was in Fallujah." It's like, "For what?" He's like, "I was on vacation." It's like, "What? Why would you go to Fallujah for vacation?" He goes, "Oh, stuff," or something fucking real off the walls. So we want to take him and his son and taking him in. He was a bomb maker and all this stuff. So, we were just a hair away from like wild stuff all the time. And we knew it. So by the time we left Fallujah, went back to Al-Assad, it was like a kind of like a relief. But we're like, fuck, man, that was like our chance to like getting this shit, and we didn't, because we're infantry Marines. We want to fucking fight. But we got back to Al-Assad, and the tempo changed a little bit. There's rumors about Operation Phantom Fury, and all this stuff. And we started doing these like little sweeps of little cities. I want to say we have, I can't remember off the top of my head all the cities that we swept through, but one of the cities was like right on the outskirts of Ramadi. I know that.
Karma.
We did Karma. We did.
You
fucking,
did Karma. Whoa. You guys swept Karma. That's where we were. We were at Camp Delta when we got there in February or June or January or something. Wow.
We did. We got the Karma, but I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
We did Rawa. We did. We did Haditha, Rawa. I can't remember the fucking cities for. Yeah, I got TBI too, so whatever. Who cares? But there's a few cities that we fucking did, and that actually was the stepping stone to Fallujah. That was the stepping stone. So when we got done with like these 3 or 4 cities doing sweeps, we came back and they were like, "Pack your shit, we're going to Fallujah," and that's when like reality really set in. Like reality really set in the moment that that happened, because we were all like, "Damn, okay, like what does that mean? What does that entail? What's the next step?" So you have motherfuckers that are like taking, because in Al-Assad, I will be very honest with you, it was sort of a vacation. Okay.
Yeah.
We had quad-com rooms with AC, and we had a chow hall. But there was a gym somewhere around. Yep. There was everything.
I've worked out of that gym.
Yeah, there was everything you needed. And we lived kind of nice for a little while. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wow, maybe Iraq isn't a bad place to raise kids. But it wasn't. It was a temporary joy for us, So when we got the word we were going, they were like, "Pack your shit." So everyone is legitimately either A, like just packing their shit and sending it home, or B, they're like, "Dump. We're dumping it. We're just fucking leaving it. Whatever." Like they were like, "Don't bring anything you don't need." And I'm like, "Do I need this DVD and all this pornography? Where does it fit in my pack?" My pack is already like when you pack your fucking ruck so tight that it's like nothing else. If you put one more thing in it, it will fucking explode. That was the scenario, and I'm like, where can I put this? And so I had to leave all that, and
well, that's bullshit.
I know. I mean,
you gotta leave that terabyte of porn.
I know. I gotta leave it somewhere. So whoever, hi grandma. I'm on podcast.
Hey,
your grandma. You're talking about
grandma.
porn.
Hi.
You can't talk about porn when your grandma's in the room.
No, she wasn't in the room. She was outside. She was fucking here.
Dude, that's a first right there. We got a grandma on the show. Awesome.
Let me close this door again. I'm sure my father. I'm in Jacksonville. I'm in my parents' house for Thanksgiving, so they will more than likely. My father will come in here to give me shit because I'm pretty. He's not. But I love him so. But so dumping stuff and leaving our stuff, whatever. So we go to they called it like Camp Baharia. We called it Camp Gonorrhea.
Camp Baharia. Yeah.
It was great. It was terrible. It's like old cement housing, whatever. And I want to say it was like it's like mid-October, I think, or just it might have been just the tail end of October, but a little bit mid. And every night, Artie was fucking going fucking ham bananas all day, all night. We were all prepping for. We didn't get a lot of word. We just knew we were going there, and then as the days came, we were getting more. We got our ROEs, which is very interesting enough. During our ROE brief, the entire company's out there, and we got mortar attacked. We got hit with fucking mortars while we were getting our fucking ROE briefs. I believe it was an ROE brief, and everyone's like, "Oh, motherfucker, damn it!" You know, and here's my grandma again.
I'm sorry,
Hi, Grandma.
Bobby.
You're all right,
I'm
Grandma.
sorry.
I love you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
So we get our ROE brief. You know, during that brief, we were told, who was it? We were told everyone, so anyone, any rank is on-site commander. So anyone can call an airstrike. I mean, I was a Lance Corporal at the time, but let's say a private. I don't think we had any privates, but there was a private, and he was like, that mosque has to go. Perfect. Let's drop a bomb on that fucking mosque. Let's fucking level this fucking hotel. Let's drop warheads on foreheads on this guy that's fucking sitting out there. Legitimately,
I've not heard that forever.
When they said that everyone is an on-site commander, me and my friends looked at each other and we were like, our eyes were like, they call airstrikes. Oh God. And then it was, you know, honestly, it was, I think it was like 3 or 4 days in, they were like, all right, corporals and above or sergeants and above, because we had dropped some fucking wild, like 500 airstrikes. It was obnoxious, the amount of airstrikes, because, you know, no one had been in the city except SF. Except SF. I know this now more than ever because I had an opportunity to podcast with Chris Pronto from Indonesia. And he had told us that they were in there, they cut off all the power and stuff like that, and there's a few guys in there. So we learned that like there were actual SF guys in there already, fucking hooking and jabbing. So they were doing more fucking specific missions outside of what we were doing. But hats off to them because that was fucking wild.
I can't believe you interviewed Tonto. That's fucking cool as shit, dude.
Yeah,
dude, he's awesome. He is fucking awesome. I'll just text him like, say hi, how you doing, brother? And he just always chimes back, or he'll text me random fucking shit. Awesome guy. He's just like one of us. Legit.
Yeah. Dude, hey, tell him I watch 13 hours like every week. Next time you talk to him. I will.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He's an awesome guy. He's got a great heart too.
You send him our way.
I will. Actually, after this, I'll shoot him a text.
Hell yeah, that'd be dope.
Oh, that'd be dope. Sorry, continue. Good.
So we got our ROEs, we learned all that, and then we go. Oh man, what was it? So the morning of. Keep in mind, Artie has been going off for fucking days and days and days. So at this point, we're like, damn, they've killed everyone already, which obviously is not true. But being a young Lance Corporal at that time, that was my mindset. Like,
Lance Corporal Underground.
Please save some for me. I would like to murder people too. And it was the morning of. I think it was like 03, and it's like pouring rain. And when I tell you the sky was something like out of a movie, it was something out of a cinematic movie. It was like the lightning was so crisp and clear, like I could like grab it. It was pouring rain. The lightning was thundering. It was like the entire world knew that we were about to go toe to toe with evil. Like if there was ever a sign that God existed and he knew what evil was, that was the sign. That was the picture painted. It's like, I'm going to send all these hooligans that I made specific to destroy evil, and they're going to destroy evil.
I like that.
And
Yeah.
my dad's walking in right now.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
What's going on? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving. Hey, see, it's a good thing I mentioned Thanksgiving because he would have just blown it.
And you got a dog and a dad and a grandmother.
All right,
Okay.
let me introduce you to my dog. Come here, dude.
Hey, buddy.
Come here. Come up. Come here. This is Duke.
Oh,
What's up, Duke?
He's Irish Wolfhound, Lab, Schnauzer. He's a
beautiful.
good boy. He was trained through the Rescue 22 Foundation, and he loves steak and he loves trash.
He's a
Nice.
trash panda.
He is a trash panda.
Look at him looking at you like, Dad, why you ratting me out like that?
I've got a trash panda too. I've got two trash pandas. They love going through the trash.
All right, look at this.
Cute dog, man. That's awesome. Cute
He's a good
dog.
boy. All right, lay down. Now he's like, oh God, no
Is he
attention.
is he your support animal?
He's my service dog.
Service dog.
Lay down.
Hey,
Stop.
let me ask you a question about service. I don't want to get away from your story, man.
Oh, Fleek.
What?
Come
It's
on.
just a,
Okay, no,
it's
no,
a
ask
random,
him. No,
it's
no,
a
no, ask
random
him. Go ahead.
question.
I know exactly where you're going with this, though. But go ahead. Go ahead. Ask
So
him.
if you see a dude, he's wearing a vest and all of his freaking medals, and he's just like Mr. Soldier, like, hey, everybody, I'm a soldier. This guy, you know this guy, right?
I know this guy.
And he has a service dog, but he's a big asshole to his service dog. What do you think about somebody that's an asshole to their service dog?
Well, you know what?
This,
Can you describe what this asshole does to be the asshole to a
Yeah, he
service
puts
dog?
a choke collar on his service dog, which
It's
I've never heard.
oh, it's terrible.
of a
The way he
choke
treats
collar
his dog
being on a
is
service
terrible.
Well, I have the 22 Rescue Foundation, right? They trained him. They took him out of a high kill shelter, and they trained him for a year, right? So they integrated and taught me. I have a choke collar.
You do.
It's a prong. It's the prong, but it's not to fucking like hang him or anything like that. It's very.
That's what he does.
It's
Oh, he
uncomfortable
does that.
for him when like hey, sit. He doesn't sit. Slight tug and he sits.
Yeah.
It's not painful. It's not.
So you don't like wrench it.
of course
Okay,
not.
good.
No.
I have a prong collar for my dog. My dog is a German Shepherd, but I don't scream at my dog and jerk on it, like rip his neck off. Like it's just it's just a little tap, and then he's like, "Whoa!"
You see that face? Like I asked myself, I'm like, who would want to kill you? Who would want to kill you? I wanted to murder him when he ate lobster shells, and then he.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It's like it's rare, like very rare. Like I was like, I want to murder you, but you're so cute, I can't.
All right. Well, this guy, it gets worse. Apparently, he wears ranger tags, and he's not a ranger. Apparently, allegedly, I don't know.
It's not on his DD 214.
Well, maybe he was.
Copy.
Hey, it was secret. He was behind the doors.
Oh, dude.
One of those guys.
Listen,
CIA stuff.
I'm not going to say anyone's name, but there was a Lance Corporal that he was a senior Marine to us, and he did that.
Ooh.
And he checked into the unit with Vietnam ribbons on. And when the gunny, when the gunny actually came up to him and asked him, "What the fuck are those?" He was like, "This isn't on your SRB. This isn't." He's like, "Oh, it's classified." Boy, oh boy.
Oh,
Fucking annihilated. Yeah. I'm not gonna say his name. He's obviously changed his life around, I think.
Hopefully.
But he is
wow. It just
Very
reminds
interesting.
me. It reminds me of reminds me of boot camp. I had a kid. He actually got the USMC tattoo on his forearm before he even got his EGA. Like he had it.
I had one of those too. I had a. Where
They left.
We had a recruit that got the eagle and anchor on his chest.
No, we did not.
Yeah. And the fucking drills was like, what the fuck is that? You think you fucking earned that? Man, that kid fucking cried. I think he cried for like a solid like month.
Dude, this kid did he scuzzed every single deck in Paris Island. Like they did a beach campaign. Like, you know, all the fucking he went to every single sand.
Andrew, I don't know if you know this, but one of our guys did that. And not only did he get the EGA before he earned it, he got it tattooed on backwards.
And who was Who?
I'll tell you after we hit.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm not going to mention any names, but I'll after the show, I hit the end recording. Yes.
Oh shit.
That's right. Because the eagle anchor, I believe if it's on my left side, it has to be going to the right.
Yeah.
It has to be going. What is that?
Yeah, the anchor. Right. Yeah, I have it, and the anchor's going this way.
Yeah, so it goes. Yeah. Oh man.
I wasn't gonna get the dual things, and I wasn't gonna get the doves on the doves on your hips. Remember that? Or the swallows? Was that it? You get doves swallows, right here, or the stars right here and here.
You get those swallows. I don't have any tattoos.
None?
I'm like the anomaly in the Marine Corps, or like not getting tattoos. I
saw a guy like that.
I saw all my friends get terrible ones. I'm like, I look at them. I'm like, I could have drawn that for you.
That was by the that was by the triangle.
Oh yeah. Talk about a classy establishment.
Very classy.
Triangle.
Amazing. Please, if you ever get to Camp Lejeune, got to go to Triangle.
I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah, I'm on it. It's on my list.
The one time I went to the Triangle Inn, I met up with the third platoon. Third platoon was known for their fucking party shenanigans.
Yeah,
they're a bunch of fucking war dogs. So get me wrong. These guys I would fucking fight with any fucking day. But I go meet them at the Triangle Inn. And I'm there for like 15, 20 minutes, chit-chatting, stuff like that. And then this Marine bursts through the door and he's like, I just got mugged by a hooker and her pimp. And I'm like, well, that's my cue to go. And I'm done.
He got mugged by a hooker?
He got mugged by a hooker and her pimp.
Nice.
That's when I realized that maybe I shouldn't hang out with them this often.
Dude, you are cracking me up, dude. Seriously, my stomach hurts from laughing so much. Jesus, oh my god,
it's terrible. But going back to Fallujah.
Going back to Fallujah.
Oh my god. So I can't remember how the time frame went, just leading up to the actual entering the city, but I remember there was we went outside the perimeter. We were behind a bunch of fucking tanks. We had to dig some fucking skirmishers in this fucking hard ass fucking ground. It was pouring rain all day. It was fucking miserable. And then I want to say it's around the 9th or 10th, or I want to say the 9th, going into the 10th. And Bravo and Charlie are basically they've entered their like assault positions. I think if that's like the last concealed place. I think I can't remember off the top of my head. But up to that point, we were like, you can hear the battle going on. Like you can hear fucking Artie, you can hear fucking tanks engaging, you can hear all sorts of fucking shit going on, and it's fucking pitch black out. And now Bravo and Charlie are about to fucking breach the city. They told everyone to stand by because we had 2 pallets of 25,000 pounds of C4 land on the berm. The insurgents made like a man-made berm all around the city. So this C4 was strategically placed and landed from, the planes. And this explosion was so fucking big. Like we're far. We're like on the edge of the city, but we're far away from it because obviously the positions. But that thing fucking went off. It was like a fucking earthquake, like was happening. We're like, holy shit! And then Bravo and Charlie breached, and the entire side of the city fucking lit up like the fucking 4th of July. It was probably the most terrifying and most exhilarating and most Marine Corps thing I'd ever experienced in my life was watching Bravo and Charlie breach the city, because now they're fucking fighting, and now you can hear over the radio what the fuck is going on. And now you can hear, oh, someone's got a casualty. And now things are happening. Things are real now. So like we're like, oh shit, this is fucking crazy. Like this is really happening. We didn't do anything specific that moment, but we knew we were coming up. Like it was, our time was coming. And sure enough, we got on the AAVs. I want to say probably later on that night. And our Sergeant Major Hope, or no, First Sergeant Fry, I'm sorry, came over to the intercom. We all loaded into AAVs, and he wished us happy birthday, Marines. And we fucking drove right into the fucking heart of the city, into the government compound. And in the AAVs, you can kind of see outside because we had some guys on top. We're just standing security outside, and we could just kind of like see like the city inside, and we're like, this fucking place is fucking mangled. We got to the government compound, and we cleared it out. There was no resistance in the middle yet. First and third platoon took their place, and I want to say it's like probably around like 6 a.m. We saw a few guys run into the mosque right in front of us, and they said, don't open fire, because they were running into the mosque. And shortly after that, the first fucking RPG fucking went off, and it was bananas. After that, it was fucking balls to the wall. It was fire. Go ahead.
Is that when they fired? Like in the video, they're firing on this mosque. Like, and it's like coming apart as they're like, it's blowing up.
So Fallujah is the city of mosque. There's something like obnoxious. There's like hundreds of mosques in Fallujah, which by the time we left, there was probably not many left. There might have been 1 or 2 left. The other ones were
your tooth fell out.
It did. Sorry.
Got that.
Party tricks.
Yeah, that's it's from hockey a long time ago. But no, dude, what you guys did, I mean, we heard like stories about you guys, like even over in the 3-8, like God's Battalion, you guys were like our fucking heroes. Like, we're like, oh shit, we want to get some like fucking 1-8 did. And you know what? We did. Not as much. I mean, Ramadi was fucked up, but Karma.
Ramadi was fucking rough, you guys. Like,
Ramadi sucked. That was terrible.
I met a lot of guys that went through Ramadi, and I'll never compare. I'll always relate to how fucking chaotic and how crazy and hard.
You know what our ROE was? Like, we had a captain that actually gave us an ROE when we started Ramadi. If it moves, kill it. Okay, good to go, sir. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, that was basically what ours was. And, being on-site commanders, your airstrikes are fucking going everywhere. Like if there's a fucking styrofoam cup blowing the wrong way, hey, drop a fucking bomb on that motherfucker. We don't know what's in that small styrofoam cup, but it needs to fucking get destroyed. Like, we had so it's mass chaos. There's 2 or 3 things that really stick with me at the beginning, and one is the first RPG that hit. I remember the hair standing up on the back of my neck, and I was like, "Oh man, this is fucking crazy." The second, we actually had a airstrike hit our building. So we had a JDAM, and it's up for debate. No one, from what I've heard, they blame the person who called the airstrike. The airstrike, the fucking JDAM's fin was fucking broken or some shit like that. That's what they said, and to me, it's like, if it was broken, why the fuck would you load that motherfucker on a fucking plane?
Right.
That's just me. But so it landed and it hit the courtyard of our building. And what it did was it sent asphalt up 500 feet in the air. And what goes up must come down. I'm inside the building. I'm in the window. It pushed the blast, the blast.
Yeah.
Pushed me and Dayton out of the window. Upstairs, there are asphalt the size of cars landing on everyone upstairs.
Damn.
And you can hear it, like just like thuds, like, and you're like, holy shit. And then you hear the screams. And then you hear the fucking like agonizing pain. And we had a piece of concrete land on this guy. I think it was Corporal Brown. But basically, he had concrete land on his arm and his rifle, and it fucking destroyed. Like, his rifle was in pieces. His arm was like this. Like, it was fucking crazy. It was like, that was the first thing that really stood out to me. It was like, oh shit! Like, if that RPG hitting that building didn't get me, like seeing him come down the stairs, actually seeing all the Marines rush to him to get him on a fucking the stretcher, rushing out to get him on a stretcher, and then run his ass back downstairs under fucking wild fucking sniper fire, that fucking got my attention. So his arm was mangled. Like, it was like broken in like something like 16 places. It was shattered. And then the third one was, I don't remember why we were going into AAV, but I want to say it was like the next day. And I want to say it was Bravo Company. My friend Naranjo, I can't remember if it was Bravo or Charlie. I want to say it was Bravo Company, but I could be wrong. If it is, I apologize, but either Bravo or Charlie. But he had his...
What was his name?
Naranjo.
You had a Naranjo too. So did I. Wow, this is kind of...
Naranjo, he went to SY with me. He was one of my good friends.
Jorge Naranjo, he was from New York. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Jesus. I didn't know we were so similar, sir. Didn't know.
So I don't know. I don't remember why, but I know I had to go to AAV. Either it was for like supplies or we had to go to the casualty collection point. And we got there, but Naranjo was inside the AAV. And I looked at him and like there was no life in his eyes. He was covered in blood. I want to say either his team leader or squad leader was killed right in front of him. And all that blood was, and that was the third thing in that time frame of the start that really stuck out to me. I was like, "You all right?" And he was like, "Yeah," but there was like he was lost. Like, he was lost. The guys in Bravo really took a lot of the fighting. Man, Bravo Company. I'll fast forward just for this. When we got done with Fallujah, we had a battalion formation. And, Alpha and Charlie are pretty still intact. We had a lot of wounded, but we didn't lose a lot of guys. So we had, I want to say we had like 10 rows of, 10, whatever, 10, whatever it was. Bravo had barely 2 squats.
Damn.
Yeah. Everyone either had passed or had been severely wounded. And that broke everyone. That broke, because of Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, headquarters, and we weapons, and we all look, and we're like, fuck, man. Like, they fought fucking hard, and they took a fucking beating. But, going back to, what I was saying, like, those are things that really stood out to me at the beginning of Fallujah, was watching people around me get fucking hurt.
Yeah, that it hurts. Yeah, I empathize with you, man, because we lost 17 in Ramadi, and I knew all of them, and 14 of them are buried up in Arlington, and it sucks. It really does. But we're war fighters, and I mean, did Berger get rid of like the whole 8th Marine Regiment, like 3-8, 1-8, 2-8? Like, he got rid of all of us, right? Like 2 years ago.
1-8's back up.
1-8 is back up. Okay.
Yeah, 1-8's back up.
Because my guys are gone. Like, and Berger was my battalion commander in 2004 when I fucking got there.
Yeah, we had a Berger for battalion commander second deployment.
Was it the commandant of the Marine Corps who just retired, like in June?
No.
Okay. Because we folded our colors like 3 years ago, and I was at the ceremony at Lejeune, and it was just a sad day when 3rd Battalion, 8th Marines, like, we've been around since 41, 1-8. You guys have been around since shit. When the hell were you guys started?
I don't fucking remember. Like, we were fucking around. I don't think we had a major impact in like the Vietnam War, but I know we were in fucking obviously Lebanon because we were fucking
yeah.
But that it's crazy to look at some of the battalions that have been kind of like disbanded, and some of them are like coming back now.
Yeah,
it's like it just kind of shows like how, I don't know, from a infrastructure point of view, like higher up, why you would remove any Marine Corps unit or any job in the Marine Corps. I think they're all so pivotal.
They're all important. Like the scout snipers, the tanks.
Yeah. Dude, tanks were fucking, man, if we didn't have tanks, our fucking lives would be fucking hell. We'd probably still be there fighting right now if we didn't have fucking tanks.
Do you remember how cold it was in like January in Iraq? Like, we would get warm. We would get warm behind a tank because we were fucking freezing.
Dude, there was the first day what we call winter. It was like it was something like 130 degrees out, and then that night it dropped to like 40 degrees, and we were all like not prepared for this. Like, I cuddled with men. Okay,
So did I.
I'm not ashamed to say this, Fleek. All right, not ashamed.
Yeah, let's hear it.
The name and me
with
came out. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to embrace these guys. It was so fucking cold. Terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. But
so, Angelo, we could talk about Fallujah till the fucking cows come home. I mean, and I could listen to your stories because I wasn't there. We heard stories like when I got boots on ground in Karma. We're like, we heard about you guys. We heard about what you guys did and how much fucking fighting you did. But I want to get to like your other deployments. I mean, we're at like an hour. We could go for forever, and I think we will. I don't know. We'll probably go for another 45, depending on you. Like, dude, it's like it's like 8:14 in Jacksonville right now. So, are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah. I'll
Where-
wrap up Fallujah real quick. We did that. We pushed through the city. We had something like 24. It was over 24 KIA, and we pushed it at the end of the city. The house fighting was fucking very intense. They would just hide and wait for us because they realized that they could not stand toe to toe with us. We crossed Fran, 8-lane highway, middle of the day, which still to this day, I don't understand why we did it that way. But, it drew us all out and we fucking slaughtered a lot of fucking insurgents. And, we really did a number on these motherfuckers. And I know that the war just in general is just fucking, our government's a pain in the ass and they're fucking shady a lot. But, from fighting there and seeing the kind of evil that existed, I'm proud to have removed a bunch of pedophiles and a bunch of fucking heathens from this earth.
Amen.
So after Fallujah, we left. We went to Abu Ghraib, which was a nice.
We were there too. Kilo Company was there.
Yeah, nice. So it's funny. We left, went to Abu Ghraib, and then on our way out, I think it was like the very next day after we left, they attacked the base and they breached the fucking prison. And then we were already fucking back in, Al-Assad at that point. We were like, oh, damn it. Like we could have fucking stacked some bodies there. But, we got back in February and everyone was fucked up. Everyone was fucked up. Everyone. I didn't know this at the time, but I had severe TBI and severe PTSD. And that started my drinking problem. And we had, I think it was something like 90 drug pops. Yeah. And no one batted an eye. No one fucking cared to ask, like, hey, why did 90 of these fucking soldier sailors and Marines fucking pop on a fucking drug test?
And they'd be combat ineffective if they actually tallied those up. We had the same situation, 3rd platoon, because you're a bunch of fucking animals. We're doing coke and fucking smoking weed, and fucking we had a drug test the next day. And you know what? Everybody failed except for like the lieutenants and the captain. And they lost the results for some reason. Because I remember, because I got nut tapped back to fucking California. I got nut tapped so hard waiting for a piss test. I remember that day. And Ron, dude, he did this, and he just went back, and I just was on my knees in 2 seconds.
Wow. You know what's funny is what set all this, that is terrible. What set all this off was someone mentioned that there was a party out in town and that Marines were fucking getting high and fucking doing all sorts of shit. So we had a random health and comfort drug test. We're like, what the fuck? And
oh man,
one of the NCOs knew, and he was trying to help his Marines get through this. And he was, and one of the fucking, our gunny was freshman at freshman at the drill field, and he's like something to sit well with him, and he's like, this guy, I think it was a courier, comes out with his piss bottle, and he's like, let me see that. And he grabs it and he goes, what the fuck is this? He goes, piss, gunny. And he goes, piss isn't cold. And he took it and he fucking slammed it on the fucking floor. I guess they were dipping their fucking cups in the fucking toilet water. And they got caught. So now everyone has to do a fucking piss test again. And this motherfucker lost his mind. He lost his motherfucking mind. So yeah, that happened. And then, we actually wound up pushing out a bunch of Marines, a bunch that were combat meritorious corporals, a bunch that are fucking like combat Vs, all this shit. Pushed them out. We had a guy that got fucking dropped to fucking PFC. He was literally about to get promoted to corporal. They dropped him all the way to PFC, and then I think like the next month he got his Navy Com with a V as a PFC. Like all these guys were fucking war dogs, but that just showed like how fucked up we were. We were so fucked up, and I was
Were
averaging.
you guys so fucked up that you would take a boot camper, put them in between two mattresses, and throw them off the third deck?
That was more 2003, 2002. That was more that. At this point, we were a little more professional about our fucking tactics. You know, we were a little more professional. You know, I look at that time frame and we were so fucked up that we weren't functioning at our highest capacity, right? And you know, I look back at that and I look and I'm like, man, you know, I was not that great of a leader when I stepped in. Because my brain wasn't well. I was averaging like an hour and a half of sleep a night. You know, I was drinking more and more every day. I was having night terrors. I was all sorts of fucked up, and that all played a part in how poorly I led Marines. I did my best with what I could do, but you know. We went on our second deployment on the MEU, went over to, you know, Jordan
which MEU?
The 24th on the Iwo Jima. Went over to Jordan. We hung out outside of Lebanon during that whole little crisis thing. And we came back. I re-enlisted. I went to officer candidate school to teach. I taught officer candidates how to be Marine Corps. I taught officer candidates the basics of Marine Corps infantry.
No, I had no idea. Oh man, wow, I had no idea, man.
Yeah, greatest job in the world. I met some of the most fantastic guys in the world. Funny enough, in that section, like when I re-enlisted, they told me because I re-enlisted so late that I would have to go cut grass in OCS. So I was like, you know, fine, whatever. All the drill field, all that shit's fucking filled. I go there and I'm introduced to the sergeant major. I got to check in, and Sergeant Frida, this giant machine gunner from 3-6, comes down and he goes, "You Martinez?" I'm like terrified because he is a very big man.
Yes.
Just to give you kind of like the scope of it, he received the NAM with a V for picking up the entire weapon system, the Mark 19, moved it 150 meters by himself, placed it, and fucking waxed a bunch of fucking insurgents. That's a thing, man.
I heard about that. That's a heavy weapon, man. That is heavy. Jesus.
This motherfucker is big. And he towered over me. He was like, "You Martinez?" I'm like, "Yeah. Yes, I am, Sergeant." And he goes, "You're going to be attacked." Yeah, I was terrified. And he takes me up and meet all these other infantrymen. You know, because at that time frame, that's 2007, everyone's fresh back from the Fallujahs, the Ramadis, the Mosuls, and Jaffs. Some of the fresh
on the 2-2 MEU at that point.
And
damn,
interesting enough, somebody came out and they asked us about how our deployments went. Yeah, and they didn't believe us. They legitimately did not believe. You know, I thought my stories were fucking wild. You know, you had guys that were going. There's a Marine, Casey Watson. I want to say he was like 1-2. Casey Watson. He got locked in a house in Ramadi with 9 insurgents and killed all of them by himself. Yeah, killed all of them. Then chased the last one into the field and killed them by himself.
Holy shit!
I had to verify that because I didn't believe him. I didn't believe his NAM, which should have been like a Bronze Star or something. But I had to verify that because the guys that he was with, I went to squad leader school with. And they told me about this fucking guy that did that. So when he said that, I was like, "Hey, you know this guy Watson?" He goes, "Yeah, that's the guy I was telling you about." And I was like, "Holy shit, what?" Yeah. So those are the kind of guys that were in my section as instructors. So we tell these people these stories, and they're like, they don't believe us. They don't believe any of that stuff. They didn't believe I was in danger close proximity to a tank while I was fucking going off in Fallujah. They didn't believe he got locked in this fucking room. The very next week, Sergeant Major Kent and the Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Conway, show up to tell us, like, you guys are doing great. Keep up the great work. Because they had heard that all these things. And they're like, you can hear my story and be like, yeah, that's fucking intense. But you hear these other guys, stories that I was a junior Marine. These guys were in fucking leadership positions, leading Marines and doing things that can only be considered fucking heroic and fucking insane. And they had come out and like basically just gave us a pep talk and encouraged us, and they left. It was very interesting. So I did that until 2010 and went to 1-1. My life fell apart eventually because I was averaging an hour and a half of sleep. I was drinking, and I was just fucked up. I was like really fucked up. So eventually I got out of the Marine Corps, May 2011. Went back home, and again, I'm fucked up. I didn't know it. I entered the nightclub and the strip club industry, womanizing, drinking, and doing drugs. That's something I felt I was good at, and it was rough because I was trying to fill this void with all these short-term things. And eventually I got sober. I met somebody that was sober. I dated her. She got sober. I saw the change in her and I wanted it. So I wound up getting sober. And, I had to confront the lies that I was telling myself to start. So I had a spiritual experience with God. I could not shake. I never believed in God. I never believed in Jesus. I never believed in anything, nothing spiritual, nothing, not an angel, nothing. And I had this spiritual experience with God that I could not shake. And I realized that God was real and that he had been pursuing me this entire time. And that literally changed my heart overnight. So I went from nightclubs and strip clubs to youth ministry. I went to high school ministry, like that. And that kind of started the change in my life, right? Because I've learned all these things the first 30 years of my life, and now I have to unlearn them. I have to unlearn all these things. And I'm 9 years sober now, and I'm still unlearning a lot of these things. Being sober and clean, I still went through a divorce. I still went through all these, traumatic things. My ex-wife brought a man to my house while I was there. And I felt so unstable that I realized that I had to leave. And that was May of 2019. By August of 2019, and in that time frame, I was homeless. I was couch surfing. I was living out of my car. I was driving to New Jersey from Philadelphia to go stay with my sister 2.5 hours away. And by August, my sister was like, make a decision. You either go back to school or you go work for American Airlines. And I was like, all right, I'll go back to school. So I moved back down to Florida. I started in school. And things got really dark. I was with my best friends. I lived with my best friends. And even living with my best friends, who weren't Marines or anything like that, they're just good, solid men in my life that loved me and just cared for me. Even during that time, I was still lonely. I was still feeling isolated. I was still really hurting. And I was pursuing my bachelor's in exercise science. I went through that entire semester And I remember like waking up every morning at like 3:45 in the morning and praying to God that just give me something. Give me something. Because I don't know what you're doing, but I need something. Like, give me something. Give me somebody. And my rationale to that was I wanted to get to God before everyone else did. Before the world got to him, I wanted to have my time with God. And I got to December and I had decided to kill myself because I was done. I was in this like season of like complete emptiness and dryness. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I decided and I made the decision to kill myself, and I was overcome with peace. So much peace. Like all the problems, all the sadness, it all went away. Like that. And I was like, oh, that's good. So my roommate left, and I got up to go get his gun because I didn't have a gun at the time. I got up, and as soon as I got up, this guy Wade called me. And Wade was a Marine I met the month before. And he asked me if I would come shoot a video with them because they owned a supplement company at the time. And I was like, well, beats what I'm about to do. And no one's going to be here by the time I get back, so I can still make this happen. And he didn't know me. What does he fucking care? I don't care, right? They don't know me. So I go to the beach. I dress up as a Christmas elf, and we raid the beach as Navy SEAL Christmas elves. And I had so much fun, and I was filled with so much joy that I came back home wet, cold, sandy, and I sat on this broken futon, and I was like, I don't have to kill myself anymore. I don't have to die. And it like instantly clicked. I was like, man, I need to get next to these Marines and these soldiers and these sailors. Like I need to like actually get. So I attached myself at the hip to them, and I wound up working the front desk at this guy's gym, doing admin stuff. And then he was already in the fundraising side of nonprofits. I started learning how to raise money. I got introduced to Irreverent Warriors that February. That's where I met Andrew. And I realized that it wasn't that it wasn't so much that all the things that I'd experienced were holding me back. It was that I was missing the camaraderie component in my life, and that I couldn't do life alone. And that God had actually given me these people. He gave me Matt Chenworth that I randomly met, who introduced me to Wade, who was the Marine that called me, and introduced me to all these other things, right? So this entire time was just having faith that God was going to show up in my life in a way that I just couldn't see. He works behind the scenes, right? So I enter Irreverent Warriors. I do the Irreverent Warrior thing. The next year, I become the South Florida coordinator. And
hell of a hike, dude. That was awesome. That was
awesome. Every year it gets kind of wild. I wound up, last year we raised $100,000 for Irreverent Warriors.
Wow.
Yeah, we did because the way I looked at it was, and this isn't a knock at any of the lead coordinators. You know, a lot of them look at, all right, I'm just going to hike. I'm going to host a hike once. That's it. That's one event a year. How do I consistently draw veterans out of isolation into community to improve their mental health and prevent their veteran suicide? How do I do that? I do that by being consistent with them. And that's what we did. So, okay, let's try to do more events. We would, hang out with them. We'd have dinners. We'd do all this other stuff. But the main ingredient was being consistent. If you're consistent with somebody, you're going to build a strong reputation. They're going to see your character, and they're going to see where your heart is with this. And that's why consistency is so important. So, we do Irreverent Warriors. And and last year we really did we were a little wild. We had DJ Guantanamo Bay, who's a Navy veteran. We put him on a flatbed truck, and he was our mobile DJ up and down Fort Lauderdale Beach. We had Ray Cash.
Man.
We had
Damn.
Navy SEAL and motivational speaker Ray Cash come out. He spoke. All the veterans there loved it, how inspiring he was, because he's going to have hard conversations and heart-to-hearts. And we knocked it out of the park. And, this year has been a little tough because I started med school for chiropractic medicine in January, and I underestimated the course load the first semester. I thought it was 4 classes, and it was actually 8 classes.
Whoa.
So I was there basically 7 to 7 every day. So I would leave to go to school like 5:45 because it's like an hour away, 45 minutes, hour away. Get to school by like close to 7. I'm in school 7. I leave 7. I get home 8:30, and then do it all over again. And while I'm playing the hike and while I'm doing all this,
Wow.
I learned how to be very regimented in my time. I learned that I needed to communicate more because I know I had dropped the ball a few times entering the hike, but I was doing the best I could with time management. But, first semester kind of opened a door to some other things too, where I realized that it was time for me to start something to create that consistency for veterans. Where Irreverent Warriors mission ends, the Barracks Legend Foundation, our mission starts. And that's where I started the Barracks Legend Foundation to continue to draw veterans out of isolation and into community, right? To consistently improve their mental health. If I can consistently make you smile, laugh, let you know that you're loved and appreciated, then I can prevent you from killing yourself. I can. I'm not saying it's like it's a cure for it all, but I'm saying if you're consistently happy and you're consistently being loved and you're consistently being told that you're worth living and you're worth dying for, then I can consistently convince you that taking your life isn't the best, isn't the next option, right? And my COO Natalia, we've sat down, we've talked about this, where you're not just preventing veteran suicide. You have to look at the veteran himself, right? If I improve his mental health, right, I am restoring a life. I'm restoring a marriage. I'm restoring a family. I'm restoring broken relationships. I'm restoring all these different things in that veteran's life that's impacting other spectrums of their life. And that's where really, we'll prevent veteran suicide. That's the goal. But the real caveat to it is making such an impact in that veteran's life that they never, ever have to worry about those things ever again. Them knowing that, like, man, my life is good because I was consistent in showing up. And because they showed up, now they can show up for their family. Now they can show up for their friends. Now they can show up for their wives. And that's been the real caveat for the Barracks Legend Foundation. We've just been nonstop. It has been nonstop. Next month, we'll have our first Monday Night Football Ugly Sweater Christmas party, where we were given 50 tickets to go to Miami Dolphin Stadium. We had a sponsor rent out the entire party terrace, and now we've just a bunch of veterans up there living their best lives, and it's only going to get better. And we're crazy.
Wow, dude, that's amazing. When did you make the nonprofit, like the change from IW to the Barracks Legend? Like, what exactly?
So I'm still the South Florida coordinator, right?
Of course you are.
until I can find somebody that will be my successor. I would never ever just drop off and be like, find somebody new. The organization is such an amazing organization, and it made such an impact on me. They took me, repackaged me, repurposed me, and they changed the entire trajectory of my life. So I would never drop off like that. But I started in April. Started talking about Barracks London Foundation, and then we submitted the paperwork, and then we did all the stuff, and that's when that kind of like took off. It took off a lot faster than me, real fast, a lot faster
dude,
than I like to think.
You're doing amazing things. We've actually got a guy down there that we definitely want to hook you up with. You probably know him, Matthew Wiz Buckley down in Boca.
Yeah, I know of him. I haven't met him, but I know of him.
No Fallen Heroes. He came up here a couple of months ago in his jet to our Murfreesboro airport, and No Fallen Heroes. It was great. You guys are like trying to save lives, and it's awesome. You definitely need to meet him. And I have Fleek has all his stuff. I have all his stuff, and we would definitely like to share that with you. He's a great dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And he would definitely be impressed with what the hell you are doing, because I'm about to damn cry.
One of the things that I can't stress enough is, and I'll steal this from Tiffany from Forever Warriors, is collaboration over competition. There's so many things that we can do together that we don't have to compete. There's no point. If your ultimate goal is just money, then you're competing against yourself. But if your ultimate goal is saving lives and drawing veterans out of isolation, then let's collaborate, because we can change lives and save lives together.
And that can work for all the other VSOs, VFW, American Legion, AMVETS, Marine Corps League. I mean, we all need to work together. And me and Fleek, and you're VFW, right, Angelo?
I'm VFW and American Legion and DAV.
Yeah, I met your Florida commander. Very nice. We were at because I'm the VFW Southern Conference chaplain, so I get to meet all 14 states, and Florida is one of them. And I actually just emailed your chaplain like 3 hours ago about here's what you got to do on the holidays, like mental health, physical health, and just keeping them in the loop. Like this is what because people get depressed around this time. I don't. I love Christmas, and I know you do too, Angelo.
Yeah, what's funny is I do love this time of year. Marine Corps birthday, vets and Veterans Day I think it's probably a harder time frame for people. And this past Veterans Day, we held a Vetsgiving, and we held a Vetsgiving.
Cool.
Yeah, and we had 72 veterans and family members come out.
Shut up.
They came out to a restaurant called Papamigos, which is a Marine Corps owned, and we had 32 register, and by the end of the night, 72 had shown up. And this restaurant owner, Brian, and his wife Lauren, they ran out to go buy more food.
Nice. That's always good. That's a good thing.
Yeah. So it was amazing to see. But I look at these dates a little more strategically. I look at them strategically because Veterans Day, right? Think about am I around my bros? Am I around my platoon? Am I around my squad? Probably not. So what better way to get out of that mood than to be with us?
That's beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great transformation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
IW changed me. I actually had to be 6 months sober before Cindy would actually give me a hike.
I remember.
And you know what? I did it. And I did, I only did it once because I handed it over to the hike daddy, Zach Jenkins. And he has been killing it.
Dude, what a fucking awesome guy. I love
that guy.
I love Zach so much.
Is he still doing it?
Yeah, he's he it was supposed to be somebody else last year, but he kind of dropped the ball. And so Zach was just like, you know what? We're going to do the same exact hike because we've only got 3 months until we have to go. Boom.
Yeah.
And he made it happen. And he had like 300 people this year, which I didn't hike, but I was there in the morning with a VFW table.
Yeah.
We actually
what-
signed up like, I think we got like 8 people from that hike.
Why didn't you hike
Which is
that
shame.
day?
Huh?
Why didn't you hike that day?
Dude, seriously, man. Angelo can attest to this. I mean, Angelo, how many hikes have you done? Like 19, 25? How many have you done?
I got a lot. I haven't been able to do much this year, but
Dude, we're getting older. Like, I know with the pre-hike, I know the post-hike, I know the 2 miles an hour. My body just couldn't take it. Like, it couldn't take it anymore.
hey,
And
listen, movement is medicine. All right. So you got to
It
get out
is.
and move. All right.
well, it's just, I go to the Y. I work out with one of our VFW guys. I did chest like 2 weeks ago for the first time in a year, like upper, lower, middle. Dude, I couldn't move my chest for like 4 days.
You're saying
and
by
I-
next year you should be like Arnold.
It hurt
Yeah.
so bad. I was stretching like every 10 minutes. And I'm like, why, Aubrey? Why would you do this? And you know what? I keep on going back, and I'm getting almost Zach Daddy on Angelo Martinez swole. Almost.
Listen, it's Zach Daddy Swole. I don't even know if I can get that Swole. That man is a fucking stud.
How old are you, Angelo? If you
38.
don't mind me asking. 38? So you graduated high school, and then boom, you were Paris Island. You went right after graduation.
Me and my best friend. Yep.
Oh, you did the buddy program.
Yeah, and we got fucking annihilated because of that.
And what did you get out as a staff sergeant or something?
No, I got out. The highest rank I got was sergeant. I got out as a lance
Okay.
corporal. I got fucking.
Yeah, dinged.
Oh yeah,
You get NJP too? So did I. Look at that.
I got fucking railed on the way out. It's all
Oh,
my
dude.
fault. Oh, those are all.
Battalion commander like made a fucking meal out of me, man. That guy. Oof. He got to be a 1-star and then kicked him out. But Neary, oof, he fucking filleted me. I was Lance Corporal. I went back to PFC, 27 years old, drinking in Iraq. Don't do it. Don't do it, guys.
I had my dad send me fucking vodka and rum in Gatorade bottles.
My cousin sent me fucking Jack Daniels in a Listerine bottle
How'd you get caught?
because I'm a dumbass and I got
Yeah.
drunk and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the MWR and I'm going to call my ex-wife at 9:00 at night and I'm passed out. Camp Fallujah
Oh, boy.
on the Jersey Barrier by the MWR, like this, on a Jersey Barrier with my M16 in between my legs. And I come to, and the first guy I see, he's got 2 gold oak leaves. I'm like,
Oh
fuck,
boy.
I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm going to just say I'm dehydrated. So then I go to Charlie Med, and they pump like 7 IVs in me. Then my gunny, my platoon sergeant, comes over, gets the truth out of me. Scary motherfucker. And he's in our VFW. He's in mine and Fleek's VFW. Gunny Hill scares the crap out of me, and I confess right then and there, and then I get yelled at by everyone, all the way from the top to the most senior lance corporal. Destroys me.
Wow.
Dude, my sergeant, my machine gun sergeant, platoon sergeant, he lives in East Tennessee. He will never talk to me ever again. He lives like 2.5 hours away. We haven't spoken since.
You should call him up.
I'm Instagram friends with him, and I've reached out multiple times. He's like, nope, I'm not getting back into bed with that guy.
Let's get him on the show, man. I want to hear his side of the story.
Sergeant Stockton, wherever you are, we would love to hear your story, Sergeant, because I miss you and I love you.
Hey, Angelo, before I let you go, I have a question for you. I try to ask this question to everybody
Ooh.
before we sign off.
It's a good question, Angelo.
So, What do you think the most important thing that civilians should know about veterans and their experiences?
That's a great question. Wow, that's good. Okay, let's see. What is something that civilians should know about veterans? I would say that one thing that civilians should know is that we are more than capable, and that we don't need handouts, and that all we need is a little love. That's it. Treat us just like you want to be treated. That's it.
Got it.
Wow.
Or we'll fucking kill you.
Simple.
Whatever.
Or we'll kill you.
The barracks legend will come to your house.
That's a great
You don't
question.
want that.
That's a really great, because I've had people.
Is that you? Or was that me? Who's that? Was that you?
Well, that was me. My laptop's about to die.
His
Sorry.
his OnlyFans account just kicked on.
Whoa! Whoa!
my laptop will actually die here momentarily.
Okay. We'll keep it. Yeah, keep it short and sweet.
Just I've been treated differently because I'm a veteran, and just people don't know how to talk to us, or just talk to us like other people, right? That's all. We're people. We just did some stuff that you didn't do. Not that it's bad, but we just made a different decision. That's all. Not a big deal.
Right on.
Sorry, wife is.
I think
wife
Katrina's
is.
trying to call him away.
Well, she's in MBA school, and she says we've been on for 2 hours, which only is an hour and 43 minutes on.
Yeah, she's way off. She's way off.
Way off. But hey, Angelo, I love you, dude. Blake, let's send this warrior, this 1-8 warrior. Let's send him packing.
Hey, Angelo, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on and telling us your story. You have a great story, survival. We're proud of you, and I'm super glad that you got talked off the ledge there, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We love you, man.
I love you too, guys. I really appreciate what you guys do. Please continue to. I'll connect you with Tonto. And, I hope to get the opportunity to meet you someday, Fleek.
Yes. Where you at in Florida?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. Yeah. I'm planning on coming down sometime in March. So I sent you a friend request just a minute ago.
Come for my high. Come February 10th.
February 10th.
I might come down for it because it's you.
It's going to be special. It's going to be special. Trust me.
Right on. All right. We'll see what we can do.
All right, guys.
Love you, man.
I'm going to hit the end record button. Thank you, everyone, for
Thanks, guys.
tuning in. See you guys next Sunday.